Right. Okay. Morning, everyone. Welcome back to our morning cuppa at 8. Hang on. Okay. Right. So we look at the Hang Seng Index. It has actually climbed above the 26,600 point in the evening sessions. But as of now, the index is still in progress. So we wait for the confirmations of at the later part of today to confirm that there's a breakout. Now, if breakout happen, index will climb towards this 200 point level. So on the downside, support remain at 100 point level. As of next today and tomorrow, market will be looking at the this meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping, right? Looking at yesterday, right, the Hang Seng Index sentiment have grew much better at the evening sessions, right? Look, it has been a while that we did not look at the this HXC index. Can see that yesterday night HXC index have underwent a very strong positive momentum. It went up yesterday in anticipations of a positive meeting between the two leaders. So overnight, we also saw that JD.com stock code 961 after posting above expectations results during the Hong Kong market during the daytime, right? It also gapped up and printed a very long bullish candlestick. So I think that the positive sentiment will continue surround the Hong Kong market, and today shall see some upside movement, right, in the Hong Kong market. And another tech stock that we'll be looking at is 981, right? And as of yesterday, right, we understand that the CEO of NVIDIA, finally he followed Trump to visit in China, right? So market anticipating that China may buy some of the chips from NVIDIA, right? And of course, the one of the beneficiary could be the overall tech sector in China. Okay. Then on lastly, right, another counter that are going to announce their results coming next few days would be the NetEase, right? As of now, NetEase stock code of 9999 managed to break above the 185 resistance. So I think that the upside is possible on the NetEase. And as of the US market, right, sentiment remained bullish so far. What we do see yesterday is that Cisco, after the market closed, right, it announced a better forecast for their sales this year, and during the post market, right, the stock have popped up by at least 20%, right. So Cisco is one of the stock that we have picked on our technical report one day ago, right. I think that during this result seasons, we managed to discover a few stocks that actually beat the results. Apart from one stock that was below expectations, was the Cloudflare, right? It gapped down and went lower, but generally, during these result seasons, we managed to pick on a few ones. Apart from the Cisco, right? Apart from also the cybersecurity team that I mentioned to you, just before I forget, one more stocks that are pending results will be the CrowdStrike, right? Then on yesterday, we also look at the eBay, right? The reason because GameStop recently have offered eBay to take over at 125, right? And I think that the since there is a takeover possibility on eBay, right? The momentum should remain strong, right? I think that in the near term, eBay are likely to test the 120 resistance. So nonetheless, downside support or stop loss point will be marked at 105. As for the Malaysian market, right, yesterday we have seen funds continue to look at the tech or the data center related counters. MPI went up by 3%, UMS 4%, right? And one of the Data center related stocks, ISF have went up by 20% over the day. Now we published a small cap book yesterday, and I just picked a few counters that I think are interesting in terms of their price actions. Firstly, Keeming have break past ringgit mark. So after the ringgit mark, right, bid price will be every bid will be 1 cent, i.e. it will be a 1% movement. So generally, after a stock have climbed above ringgit, likelihood there will be extend the outside at least to 112. Then on the higher resistance will be ringgit and 20. Now downside support we mark at 92 cents. Secondly, a quite smallish counter ICT zone, right, have been moving sideways, and right now I'm looking at the resistance at 19 cents. If you break out, right, ICT zone may climb towards 20 and followed by 21 cents. Downside support 17 cent and a half, right? And as for the our daily technical reports, firstly we have Westports climb above their 5 ringgit and 73 cents. Next R1 will be 5 ringgit 96, and followed by 620. And downside supports are 550. Secondly, the Kwan Chong have climbed above 87.5, eyeing to test at 92 and followed by 96.5. Downside support is 83. So we have two breakout stock, Westports and Kwan Chong. So I'll stop here and pass on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Good morning, everyone. We have a sector update for the auto sector. We are maintaining our neutral call. Few things. The first one is on the recent impact of the Middle East conflict on car sales. We have not seen the impact quite clear yet. However, we remain cautious given the recent news in the change in EV policy, as well as there have been talks about government trying to exclude T20 from the fuel subsidies, as well as reducing the Budi 95 quota to 150 liters. So this may lead to a wait and see approach by the consumers, on top of potentially lower disposable income, and this might lead to lower spending on car purchases. Secondly is the loan approval rates in March have declined to 54%, lower year on year, and also lower than the 2-year average of 56%, despite the higher TIV for the month. So we think this signals a tighter lending conditions in our view. As such, we cut our TIV assumptions from 805,000 units to 780,000 units. This implies a 5% drop year on year, just to be conservative. As of March, TIV has now declined by about 3% year on year. So we have also downgraded Burma's Auto with a slightly higher TP of 1 ringgit, and this is premised on a fair valuation, as the stock has done super well over the past few years. Over the past year, it has more than doubled versus its lowest point, and as well as we have also downgraded MBM to a neutral with a slightly lower TP of 5 ringgit and 50 cents, and this is based on lower Produa volumes. So Produa volumes have declined by about 13% year on year, and this is mainly due to the shorter working days in Q1, as well as the fierce competition from Proton. So if we assume Proton's market share to keep on increasing thanks to the new Saga MC3 as well as the S70 that was recently launched in Feb, we could see further downside risk for MBM, and as such our neutral sector, our neutral call for the stock. So that is all from me. Thank you so much, and I'll pass on to the next speaker.
Hi, morning. So I have a result review on Dialog. Dialogs, they reported a 9-month FY26 core net profit of 424 million ringgit, which is about 29% year-on-year increase, accounting to 74% and 76% of our and consensus full-year forecast, respectively. So it's broadly in line with expectation. An interim dividend per share of 1.7 cent was declared, compared to third quarter 25, it was about 1.3 cents. So we continue to favor Dialog for its defensive recurring income base backed by a healthy utilization and take-or-pay contracts, while the Pengerang Deep Water Terminal's expansion and firmer oil price could provide further earnings upside. So a little bit more on the financial highlight is the third quarter FY26 revenue rose 20% year-on-year to 696.9 million ringgit, mainly driven by stronger performance from its Malaysian operation. Consequently, core net profit increased 8% as well. So this is despite lower contribution from its international operation due to reduced business activity. As for the outlook, midstream remains resilient. Their operations continue to provide stable and recurring income visibility, and the utilization rates across its tank terminal assets remain healthy at above 90%, while independent storage rates remain stable at around 6 to 6.5 SGD per metric cube per month. Growth visibility also remains intact with the commencement of Phase 3 expansion within the Pengerang Deepwater Terminals, which will add 14,000 metric cube of storage capacity, with PB Singapore as the dedicated long-term customer, so potentially generating around 135 to 150 million ringgit in annual terminal revenue upon full commissioning. We believe this further reinforces the defensiveness of Dialog recurring income base over the long term. And they also benefit from the elevated oil price. Our current 2026 oil price assumption stands at 82.5 US dollar per barrel, premised on a sustained ceasefire scenario. However, should geopolitical tension persist for a longer period, oil price could trend above our current forecast. Based on our sensitivity analysis, every $10 per barrel increase in oil price could lift earnings by approximately 5 to 6%. And we marginally raised our FY26 to 28 earnings forecast by 2 to 4%, mainly driven by slightly higher tank terminal utilization and recurring income assumption amid improving regional storage demand dynamics. Coupled with a rollover of our SOP valuation base year to FY27, our TP increased to 2.44 ringgit. Our valuation incorporates a 6% ESG discount as well. That's all from me. I'll pass on to the next speaker.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We have a results preview on which will be releasing the results next Monday, 18th of May, for the first quarter of 2026, where we expect core earnings to be between 100 million and 120 million, which translates to a year-on-year growth of between 20 and 46%. This is, of course, mainly driven by the data center projects. And, we look based on, the latest disclosed progress for its data center projects as of end of December. We realized that there's one project called PSR MNC, which has reached a 74% completion as of end of December, but is slated to be completed in the second quarter of 2027. So we believe there's a huge runway for them to complete it ahead of time. Also, within the first quarter of 2026, it is one DC is slated to be completed, which is the K2 DC. So which we expect, first quarter to be relatively strong, and even as a whole for FY26, there's likely another 3 or 4 more DC packages that is targeted or scheduled for completion as per their Bursa announcements. So all in, we made no changes to our earnings estimates. Hence, we maintain a buy on Suncon with an unchanged target price of 7.96 ringgit. Further relating catalyst would be if it secure, newer data center jobs across Malaysia, not just in Selangor and not just in Johor. So that's about it for Suncon. I'll stop here and pass on the floor to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Morning, everyone. Vanessa from the Warrants team here. So there's actually a bunch of warrants that's expiring this month on the 25th and also 26th May. Okay, why there's 2 days? 2 different days, right? There's one very special warrant, which is a short CD, which the expiry date is of 25th. Okay, a bit weird. But however, there's the whole batch of these warrants that's stated on this list that will be expire on 26th May. All right, so I'll be sharing with you on what are the steps to check whether if this warrant, one of these warrants is in your portfolio, then what do you have to check for you to make sure that you actually get some cash settlement at the end of the day. Okay, so before I go into it, right, this is actually a snapshot from the Warrants website, but it's off market. So it's important for you to use it during the market hour. And that's one thing I need you to actually apply the filter that you have to apply on the warrant search function, which is called the moneyness. All right, so this moneyness is going to compare your current share price and the exercise price to see whether it's out of the money or in the money. Okay, so only in the money warrants that will be cash settled. Okay, but this is the catch, yeah. The catch is that we will take 5 days of average. So this is just an indicator for you to see whether these warrants are currently it's in the money or it's out of the money. Okay, so I've highlighted some of the warrants, like it's very close to the borderline, like Front Can C50, SCG Part TP, and also slightly in the money yesterday lah. Okay lah, compared to the share price would be Hill CQ. So you will actually notice that the price of the warrant is actually very cheap for now. That is the reason why for warrants that's very close to expiry, the time value will be very little. It's very thin, so you will see the price, wow, so cheap like that. Yeah, as long as it's like slightly in the money, right, then you know, you'll make a lot of money afterwards. That is the reason why some of the clients will actually love to trade some of the warrants that's at the money or slightly out of the money that is before the expiry date. But this is actually quite risky, so you have to manage your risk when you're investing in expiring warrants. All right, so what to check first, as I shared with you, the moneyness of warrant. So for an example of a call warrant, normally it's all call warrant. Out of the money is when the share price, so it's below the exercise price, so you don't have any intrinsic value in the warrant. Then it's called out of the money, no? And the money is equals lah, but equals means zero also. So what is safe for you will be in the money when the share price is above the exercise price. Okay, because exercise price won't change, right? So what will change is only the share price. And the next one will be, second thing you have to check is, you need to know is that there will be a last trading date for all the expiring warrants. That is 2 days before expiry. So 26, right? So 2 days before lah, you know, 2 working days before. So 26, 1, 2. All right, so it will be on the 22nd of May, which your warrants cannot be traded anymore. It cannot be traded on Bursa Malaysia anymore. It will be suspended, so you cannot sell. You can only look at the share price and look at your warrant, but you can't trade at all. So the last trading date will be 2 days before expiry. It applies to all the warrants, any warrants that's expiring soon. And the third one is very important for you. It's called the cash settlement formula. So as I mentioned to you, right, you don't see that the share price now, but you need to take 5 days of average closing price of that shares before, 5 days before the expiry, minus off the exercise price and divided by the exercise ratio, and see how many units do you have on hand. Then you know that that is the payout to you in 7 days. All right. However, this is not, that's one thing that's really important for you to know, is that this is not a profit nor losses. So it's just a total cash you will get. So if you have invested a lot more than the cash that you get back, then it's a losses. But if you invest a little, then you hold until you get an amount of money that is higher than your initial investment. So it's actually a profit. Yeah, so this one, profit is not guaranteed. It still depends on the closing price of the shares and all. Okay, so the payment to you will be settled in 7 market days. So it will be credited to your account following how you receive your dividends. I think it's called e-dividends. So if you have any warrants that's in the money, then it will be credited to you within 7 days from the expiry date. Right. So what is very important for you is that to check your warrants in the portfolio right now. And if you want to still maintain the exposure of this warrant, like have a long-term view, you have a long-term perspective, and you are following, for example, Adam on the Sunway Construction Berhad, you can definitely maintain your position by roll over all your warrants. Okay, so what you need to do is that you need to go to the warrants website. Okay, and then you go and find the newer warrants, which is tradable with long expiry. These 6 will be some of the example from the some of the alternative to the expiring warrants, like EcoShop C4. EcoShop C4 is actually has a long expiry on 26th of November. The effective gearing is decent, 4.7 times, but the sensitivity, I would say it's good it's good. So it's about 2.6 ticks, means it's 3 ticks. It also means that if EcoShop shares moves by 2-3 cents, right, then your warrant will move by 1 tick already. Yeah, so warrant is very cheap. It's less than 10 cents. Okay, so besides from that, some of the highly sought after counters like B Technovation and also Frontcan C53, those are actually highly sought after recently because of the boom of tech sector. Then Me C44 and Frontcan C53 will be a good alternative to the expiring ones. Even though you don't have any expiring ones, you still can invest. Don't have to worry about it. Just buy it on Bursa Malaysia, and then these two will be quite a good addition to your portfolio if you're bullish on them. And not to forget PCAM C2L. So PCAM C2L, recently we actually saw, due to the oil price fluctuations, we actually see very high volume on PCAM C2L. Even though the sensitivity, I would say it's at 9 ticks, okay? And maybe to some of the people it's not very attractive, but however, to some of the more experienced traders, they will actually like something with more ticks of sensitivity due to the volatility. The volatile specifications on these shares. Because imagine when the sensitivity is about like 9 to 10 ticks, right? So 9 to 10 cents in PCAM is possible for you, to have a cushion whenever the price drop in the mother share. There will be time for you to actually set a stop loss, or maybe just close your position for PCAM C2L in this case. However, when the warrant, when the shares is really bullish, it can actually go more than 10 or 20 ticks, 10 or 20 cents in PCAM shares. So there will still be upside for this PCAM C2L. Yeah. However, it depends. It still depends on your trading strategy, because with lesser ticks of sensitivity, which is more responsive, will actually requires you to monitor it very closely. 2 ticks, 3 ticks in the mother share, it's just 2-3 cents. Yeah, so for you to actually enter a position, it's important for you. But if you know how to actually choose a warrant that is with good sensitivity and good effective gearing, then you know where to look for, which is on RHB Warrant website, the metrics. Then from the metrics at one glance, you know that maybe you could make money, or maybe you cannot make money and you have to set a stop loss. It'll be very easy for you. All right, so that is on the RHB website. We call it the price metrics. And if you have any questions, just call us on this hotline, or the warrant hotline. Then I can actually attend to any of your inquiries, or if you have my number, feel free to send me a text of it. All right, so that's all from us today. If you have any warrants in your portfolio, remember to check it before it expires. All right, so thank you so much for dialing in. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 8 a.m. RHB Morning Cup at 8. Thank you.